Hi, welcome back to my channel for another collective reading. My name is Michelle. If you've never seen me before, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to dive into today's message. I'm manifesting that this is getting across to the right collective. I was hearing this is for a collective who is experiencing a 180-degree shift. Okay, I feel like topsy-turvy, all right, is kind of the energy. It's like whatever the reality has been that you were struggling in, it's being completely flipped on its head. You're about to fall into so much happiness, so much abundance. But let's get some more information for the person who is watching this video. Super excited. And I had this realization as well, just like sitting in the presence of my day, I recognized how much my life has changed from just last year. Like this time last year, my life looked completely different, and I will probably share more of that in another video soon. But I want to dive into this reading because the energy is super exciting. So for the collective watching this video, please, what can they know or hear regarding this 180-degree shift? Got a lot of these tea leaves. I think we'll stop there. I do still have personal readings open right now if you are interested, as well as my Meet My Inner Child Healing Activation is still on sale through the end of October. Let's see what tea leaves we got. We have Unicorn with Use Your Intuition to Make Beneficial Changes. Fair Woman, Dealings or Relationship with a Woman with Blonde, Gray, or White Hair. Rooster, An Arrogant, Boastful Person You Should Not Cross. Horseshoe with Good Luck. Broom, New Home, New Attitude. Mountain, Major Challenge to Overcome. Bow, You Are Highly Thought Of. Tulip with Great Passion. And Torch, Spiritual Development, Enlightenment, Awareness, and Understanding. All right. So this is going to be somebody specific to each of you. Maybe you're having somebody pop up in mind at the moment with this fair woman energy. This could also be somebody that you are going to meet if this is not somebody that you're currently thinking of within your reality. Like I do feel like this person could also initiate some changes for you. But there's something about by you following your intuition, you utilizing your intuition. I'm feeling like a lot of pressure on my third eye. You may be feeling like third eye activations as well with this unicorn energy and the horn coming out. Very intuitive energy, okay? You're getting more and more tapped in, you're getting more connected. I feel like you're also starting to really see the vision of how much your life can change, even if you're not seeing it again in your 3D. There's something about you going there, seeing it, envisioning it, whether this is in a state of meditation or you're like daydreaming, okay? Know that those daydreams are possible for you to bring into your reality. Like you're literally tapped into this energy. You are going to cultivate those types of changes in your life. And I feel like this intuition, you following this further and further is what's bringing you major luck, okay? You're stepping into a season of prosperity, of luck, moving away from this rooster energy. I always kind of get like a narcissistic energy with the rooster as well. So perhaps some of you have fallen into like narcissistic dynamics. That's something that you're breaking free from or have been in process of breaking free from. So that could be another sign of confirmation that this message is for you, that you are experiencing these major shifts. Because I do feel like there is a fall of narcissism happening on a collective level, okay? We're seeing it a lot in the news, even like celebrity news, these types of things, like all of this coming up to the surface to recognize like what narcissism actually is and what it looks like is empowering those who have been under the control of narcissists to rise above and actually create like new ways of living, new ways to move away from the control of the narcissist. Okay, so that seems very significant. But you are falling into a period of, again, being very highly thought of in your environments, okay? I do feel like if you have dealt with narcissism in the past, there's something about you finally receiving like your flowers, finally receiving the praise that you deserve, because maybe you've been in so many environments where it was like everybody was just trying to take that from you because you are somebody who's a provider, you are somebody who leads with their heart, who leads with their empathy. And so it was almost like kind of like energy vampire energy around you. But there's something about you finally being able to break free from those energies and pour into the relationships that actually do see the vision for your life as well and are able to hold and maintain that vision for you, who support your path. Whether this is like on a spiritual sense with your guides, angels, universe, but also just like the people that you're keeping around you seems to be very significant as well. But you are leading your way forward, okay? I feel like you are holding the torch here. Things are moving in a new direction through through your spiritual enlightenment, through your connection to your intuition and your connection to source, following again your nudges, following again your truth and authenticity, and you're being filled with so much more passion, okay? And you are falling into a whole new environment. So that 180-degree shift could just be like you moving to a completely different place, you moving into a new home, you being surrounded by other people. This could even be like getting out of maybe being like single for a long time, falling into a loving relationship, or the way in which you work completely transforming, changing as well. And you're being encouraged that this is what's on its way to you. These are the rewards for the work that you have been doing. You've overcome so many challenges, and there may still be some along your path, okay? This doesn't mean like you're completely clear of any challenges. I feel like a lot of the times before a major shift, we are pushed and tested and stretched to make sure that we are embodying and we are becoming the version of ourselves that is going to hold the massive blessing, the complete change in scenery, complete change in environment. So any challenges that come along your path, again, just know that you are very much aligned to major luck, major abundance, and that you are breaking free from narcissistic control. Authoritarian control seems to be significant as well, like something about you stepping into further leadership over your life, whereas before you maybe had wounds around authority just based on your upbringing or toxic work environments that you've worked in before. But let's get some more information. What else can I collective know? So you have the number 11, which seems to be significant. Okay, you might be seeing a lot of ones. It says the undying, a stream of plenty will flow into good fortune. Again, confirmation. You have more fortune, more luck, more prosperity in this era, this next era of your life, this next chapter that is literally in process of unfolding. Like I really feel like if you're aligned to this energy, you are already feeling it. You're already seeing changes happening. You're noticing things differently, whether it just be like the way that you're responding to certain things, how people are communicating with you, or the opportunities that are being presented to you right now. There's something about you already sensing this. It's like you can like feel this energetically, and it's about to fully come into like full force, and you're gonna wake up one day and be like, holy crap, my whole life looks so different than it once did. Okay, super exciting. Let's grab some tarot. So we have the High Priestess. Okay, you have Queen of Swords on the bottom. You have the High Priestess, the Hanged Man, and Four of Cups. So again, lots of emphasis on your intuition with the High Priestess, okay? This is something that you are tapped into. You know something is happening. You know major shifts are taking place. But I feel like there is still some that is being hidden from you, okay? There is an element of surprise or kind of catching you off guard that seems to be significant. For some of you, you might be feeling still in this like kind of forced stagnancy, forced waiting period where you're like, okay, like I'm ready to go. Where are my blessings? Where's my completely like new reality? Where is it? But this forced pause, it brings so much awareness to being present in your current reality. And also, again, just making sure that you are getting acclimated to a lot of the energy that is shifting, again, beneath the surface, behind the scenes, making sure that you are energetically ready and capable to take on the full reign of blessings that are coming into your life. And I almost feel like you're being drip fed information or drip fed blessings. So that spirit, I feel like they like don't want to overwhelm you. As much as you may think right now, you're like, just give it to me all, give it to me all. I want the riches, I want the love, I want the this, and that. It's kind of like they know better than you do that in order for you to fully maintain it and for you to get comfortable within your like nervous system to really hold and maintain these blessings, they have to give you a little bit at a time. Let it be like a gradual kind of like uphill sort of battle, I guess, is what you've been feeling, but this is for your best benefit, okay? It feels like it would overwhelm you if you got everything that is being prepared for you all at once. And so there may be a level of like some apathy that you're feeling towards your desires, where maybe certain things you're kind of like, I don't care. Like if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, so be it. I'm moving on. I'm focused on this. I'm focused on that. But I feel like that's exactly where the universe, your divine team wants you to be, so that they can bring in a blessing when you're least expecting it, so that you are caught off guard, so that you do have an element of surprise, but also so that you, again, don't self-sabotage by knowing everything or receiving everything at once. They are really in it, like I'm hearing like, this is for the long game, okay? They're in it for the long game of your abundance. They don't want you to receive abundance temporarily. They want you to receive long-lasting, foundational, life-transforming abundance. So trust the process. Don't try to rush this is really what's coming through. Don't try to rush this. Know that it's destined though, okay? And again, you are sensing this, you are feeling this. Take advantage of the time of pause. Take advantage of being in your current reality, because I'm hearing it's all going to change. Again, that 180 shift, that 180 flip. There is something about you needing to be really grounded and present with where you're at right now, because pretty soon it's going to look completely different. And there may be aspects of what you're experiencing right now that you may miss. And I know some of you might be like, I'm not gonna miss this and I'm not gonna miss that, like the struggle, the challenge, all of this. But again, looking at it from a bigger picture, looking at it from a soul perspective of what you're gaining through this process, through this weight, just know that, again, it is going to be for your best benefit, and that you are destined for major, major abundance here. And there's something about your level of clarity, fine tuning, okay, through this weight, through things not being fully revealed just yet, okay, with the Queen of Swords energy. This is a very like protective energy as well, but this is also somebody who cuts through the BS, okay? You are seeing things more clearer than you ever have before. And even if at times maybe certain truths coming up to the surface may feel painful, may be hard to cope with, again, there is something that is, it's necessary, okay? These truths have to be revealed. You have to be aware of a truth in a situation, in a relationship, in an environment, okay? Cutting through lies, deception, trickery, anything that is trying to veer you off course of this path. That's kind of also why I feel like there has been a little bit of stagnancy or weight that you're feeling, because again, they want to make sure that you are grasping all of the lessons. You are actually seeing everything fully for what it has provided you, so that you can go ahead and start to move forward, okay? Whew. Okay, this energy is like so powerful. I love it. Let's see what else. What else would you like this collective to know, please? Yeah, I mentioned, oh, 10 of Cups. Okay, this is where you're leading yourself to total fulfillment, total emotional fulfillment, being surrounded by people that you love, people that support you, also feeling fulfillment in what it is you're doing on a day-to-day basis, okay? Just like happier, breezier. I'm feeling like total peace, total relief for some of you, or working in something that you absolutely love, or being able to just like spend time with your loved ones more so than you have in the past seems to be important here as well. And I had mentioned like cutting through the BS and the lies. We got the 7 of Swords here, which is confirming that energy. A lot of you have been taken advantage of, I'm hearing, especially with that narcissism energy that was coming through as well. This has been a big wound for this collective, okay? Falling under the guises of somebody who says that they are there to support you, who says that they want to do this and this for you, or that they love you and all of these things. And the truth of the matter is that they actually weren't looking for your best benefit. They were selfishly trying to take advantage and manipulate the fact that you are such a loving, warm, open-hearted person, okay? But again, this is what is closing out. This is what you are moving away from. And I feel like a lot of you have come to this awakening to recognize how often or in which scenarios you have allowed this to happen, okay? Taking responsibility of your part of it, okay? This is not to like blame yourself or say like, I'm the reason why I fell into this situation and I got manipulated and taken advantage of, but recognizing certain instances where you were allowing certain behaviors that now the version of you that you have been becoming, that you are stepping into, that you are embodying, does not allow those things anymore. And again, that is a very critical piece for this new reality that's about to form, this 180 shift. You also had to have 180-degree shift within yourself so that you could start to see this reflected in your reality. So I feel like you've been maybe uncovering some painful truths throughout your journey, certain things where, again, people weren't who they say they were, opportunities weren't what they said that they would be. But again, all of this has brought you closer and closer to this this understanding of yourself and understanding how powerful you are and how capable you are of moving away from that or not needing those connections and relying more on yourself and the divine. But yeah, again, wheel of fortune, more luck, as we've been saying. So if you've been in this kind of lackluster energy, that is what the wheel is turning right now. The wheel is turning in your favor so that you step into total fulfillment, total happiness, feeling so lucky, feeling so fortunate, feeling poured in by the divine, and being connected with people, again, who are going to be very significant in this next step. I feel like you are meeting people, you are being prepared to meet very significant connections. Again, this fair woman could be important for somebody here. This could be somebody who has an opportunity, a collaboration to do with you, a job opportunity, a connection. Maybe you introduce somebody and then they introduce you to the love of your life. Okay, and this is gonna look different for everybody in this collective, but there is something about you coming together with a group of people or a person specifically who is going to assist you, whether this is like a mentorship capacity, investor capacity, or again, somebody that just works really well with you, or just like is really holding and maintaining the vision of your life and is able to support you in a tangible way, okay? But also like this particular Three of Pentacles has these like spirit guides watching over. So know that you're also collaborating and co-creating with the divine, with your spirit team. They're very present. This Ten of Cups also, I always get like ancestor energy, spirit guide energy. Okay, they're watching over you. They are making sure that you are clearing the way for you to step into this whole new reality. I'm gonna switch decks actually. This is like my Tinseltown, like Hollywood deck. So LA, Hollywood could be significant, California. Celebrity, okay, I'm hearing celebrity status. Could be very important for you or catching the attention of a celebrity. Okay, what else can I know, please? I'm also hearing the song, I think it's Jordan Sparks, One Step at a Time, because I was getting a little impatient, like cards weren't falling out, and then I heard the one step at a time, there's no need to rush. So again, you are aligned to this blessing. You are aligned to this new reality. Continue to maintain the faith and the hope and surrender as you go through this process. If you're not seeing everything, know that it's so that you don't self-sabotage, but don't lose sight of where it is that you're going, okay? Continue to take aligned action. Continue to do things that feel aligned to this new version of your life that you are literally calling in. And make sure that you're staying balanced through all of this as well, okay? Ten of Wands, ending of a burdensome chapter. Again, ends are happening so that you can flip into this new heightened reality. We have the Three of Wands, Five of Cups, Page of Cups, Five of Swords, Knight of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. I'm seeing, yeah, with this 180-degree shift, a lot of you like expect to move, expect to end up in a completely different place that maybe you're not even considering right now. Maybe some of you are like actually actively manifesting this. So this is your confirmation. A lot of you will be traveling more, seems to be significant as well. Traveling or moving, okay? That's coming through really strongly here. And I feel like this is a direct result of certain disappointments that you have faced throughout your path. Again, the whole idea of rejection being redirection, rejection being protection. Okay, those ideas are really coming through here as well. So there's been some disappointment, some cups that have fallen over, things that you invested your time, energy, and attention towards that just did not bear fruit or ended up leaving you empty, okay, empty-handed. But that's being replaced with something here. There's like a fresh beginning in an opportunity or some sort of something that is really driven. I feel like you're stepping into this era too that is very much driven by your inner child. Like you've given the driver's seat to your inner child in some way, okay? They're coming out to play more. You're feeling more creative. You're feeling more free to express yourself. You're not as afraid of judgment, okay? You know, like when you see little kids and they're just doing like the weirdest, craziest, silliest stuff and they just do not care who sees. That's like the energy that I feel like you're stepping into, or you're allowing your inner child to really come to the forefront to say, okay, you take the driver's seat, go ahead and lead us where you want to go. And again, that's bringing in more play, more flow, more creativity, because you've started to release certain attachments to like past pains, past situations where, again, you started to doubt yourself, you were constantly in conflict with people, you were in your head, like second guessing every step of the way, or like, I feel like you might be the type of person, because I do this sometimes too, where it's like you come back home from like a night out or like hanging out with people and you're just like sitting there like, oh, should I have said this? Was it weird that did I talk about that for too long? Did I overanalyze this? Do you think they're thinking about that? You know, it's like you kind of like get in your head and start like over analyzing how people are perceiving you. But there's something about, again, whatever it is that you're trying to create for your new life, you've really started to let go of that, because you recognize that it's not actually assisting you. If anything, it's becoming a blockage that is keeping you from actually stepping into this new reality. And so by you just following your intuition again, staying in alignment with what truly fulfills your soul and feels good for you, and not worrying about what anybody else thinks, not only is your inner child extremely happy and jumping up for joy because you are allowing them the space to do that, but also it's healing a part of you where, again, you're just not worried about what other people are thinking. You're not worried about how you're going to be perceived, right or wrong. It's like you just know that you're doing something that feels good for you. And I do feel like you have been in this mode of being ready, like being jump started into some sort of action that, again, is aligned. Okay, this is not hyper independence. This is not hyperactivity, overworking yourself, overburdening yourself. You're leaving behind burdens. A cycle of burden is closing. And I feel like that's actually jumpstarting you and releasing some energy so that you can be like, okay, I'm going to stop pouring all of my energy onto all of the things that feel really heavy, all of the things that I'm like, you're like going through your reality that you're living in, being like, I'm unhappy with this. I wish this would change. You're trying to force certain things to mold to what it is that you want. And instead of doing that, you're kind of like releasing yourself from any connections that you may have and being like, okay, in an ideal reality or in my ideal embodied self, like what would I do today? What do I feel called to do? Okay. And I feel called to share, like, I'm in process of, and I feel like I am on the precipice of it, thanks to so much support that I've been receiving. I am so close to like being able to do these kinds of things full time, because as some of you know, I do still work a full-time corporate job. I'm also a mom to a little one. So my time and energy is stretched pretty thin. Super grateful to have the job that I do, because it allows me flexibility to still like pour into my social media, channeling and doing like readings for people. But there's something about like embodying, again, the version of you that already has it. And this is something that requires a bit of a tricky balance, because, for example, with me, I still have a 9-to-5 job, okay? But I go into my days of like, what would a full-time content creator, spiritual healer, what does that version of me want to do today? What would I do? What do I feel called to create? And so I make sure that I record every day. Okay, today I felt like I wanted to get ready, because I'm like, if I had all the time, if I didn't have my 9-to-5, I would take that time. I would take that time to get ready for my videos. I would take the time to feel, pampered in what it is that I'm creating. Okay, so this isn't to say like, yes, stop, remove yourself completely from your current reality and embody and just pretend like you are this version that has everything, but like work with what you have while also still stepping into that reality and knowing that it is forming and becoming more and more certain the more you practice those muscles. Okay. But there's something about, you being really firm in what it is that you're paying attention to at this time, what it is you're pouring your energy into this time, having really strong boundaries, protecting yourself, okay? Protecting yourself from energies that try to convince you that you're doing something wrong when it comes to like believing in yourself. Like as if that's like such a crazy idea, okay? For some of you, you are again healing a lot of deep wounds when it comes to other people's perceptions and opinions of you. If you have been somebody who has like had multiple times throughout their life be like, I have a really great idea, I think I want to do this, and somebody like spat in your face essentially and was like, no, that's dumb. No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that? Why would you think that'd be successful? Like these are the things that I feel like you're finally breaking free from, and you're not telling yourself those things anymore, okay? When maybe in the past you would. Confirmation burp. But there's something about, again, like you really standing firm in your boundaries and saying like, no, I know that this is destined for me. I know that I'm moving towards this. And so I'm going to continue to pour all of my time and energy that I have available into crafting and creating this new reality, this 180-degree shift, rather than focusing on trying to fix or force things that are not working in my current reality to mold my identity. It's like you're kind of switching the way in which you look at that, it seems. Okay, let's grab just like a final message for the collective watching this. What else? Last words for the collective spirit. I'm hearing just do it. Okay, some of you need to be reminded to just do it. Let it evolve over time. Stop trying to like get in your way and like come up with all of these excuses or second guess yourselves or say, oh, I'm not ready. Oh, it's not ready. It's like, you decide when you're ready, okay? Again, this embodiment seems to be really significant. Like, be the person who has what they want. Be the person who has that goal accomplished, okay? What would they do? And then do it, you know, to whatever extent makes sense for you in the current time. Emperor in the Tower. There's something about this Tower energy where, again, the shift is going to kind of seemingly come out of the blue, but it's almost like, yeah, seemingly out of the blue, a bit of a surprising energy, something that's really going to rock you. A lot of you have been coming out of these Tower moments, okay? But this Tower particularly really feels like a positive Tower moment, okay? I know sometimes people see the Tower and they're like, oh no, not another Tower moment. I've already like lost this and that and like I can't take anymore. This feels more like a Tower moment where it's almost gonna like be a shock to your system in a good way, where it's like, it's proof that you choosing yourself, you being in the leadership position over your life, you making certain calls within your life, you deciding to move in a certain direction, you again stepping into a leadership or authority position, whereas before you would maybe shy away from it. That is what's initiating this boom, like something just to like pop up or come out of the blue, or you get like hit with like some sort of like, it's giving kind of overnight success energy, although this doesn't feel like all of the changes are going to be overnight. This could be like, maybe you've been doing content for a year and then all of a sudden you post a video and that's the one that just like goes crazy viral, okay? Or you've been applying to jobs nonstop, constantly getting no's, all of these things, and then suddenly you get contacted about your dream job, okay? That's sort of the energy where it's like, you're consistently doing the work, you're taking that aligned action, you're moving that direction, and then it's like by you really being firm in your leadership, not shying away from these positions of power because it's what you deserve, okay? I'm hearing your seat at the table is prepared for you to sit. I'm like seeing you at the head of the table, okay? You are the head of the table. And there's something about you finally not being afraid of that. Yeah, it's something about you, again, not shying away from this. And that's what's bringing in this very, very positive Tower moment. Again, something to catalyze and initiate you into your 100-degree reality shift, okay? I love you so much. If you've made it to the end, let me know how this resonated. I always love to hear your stories, and I'm sending you so much love, always.